There's a common misconception that children today are happy to be playing indoors in front of screens on game consoles. But in 2007, Funky Dragon carried out a report with children in Wales that asked where would be their favourite place to play, and 97% said they would like to be playing outdoors with their friends in the way that we as adults now remember playing in our childhood. Ceredigion is a voluntary sector organisation, a registered charity. It was established in February 2001, originally to support after-school clubs and holiday play schemes, as they were a newly emerging sector. Then in 2008 we became the lead body for the Big Lottery funded Child's Play project for Ceredigion. We now employ a team of 15 staff, which includes administrators, myself as the executive officer, we've got a funding officer, a sustainability officer looking at recruiting volunteers, and our play leaders and playwork team. We've got 2 vehicles. We cover the county, north and south. We provide open access play sessions in a number of communities, between 10 and 12 a year, and we also go out to schools at lunchtimes to pilot a model known as the PlayPod model that was first developed by Bristol Scrap Store.
Having the playpods here for the term made it really interesting for the children at playtimes. They looked forward to the Thursday when the playpods came. The children were able to be more creative in their play, as well as being active without them really noticing that they were being active during lunchtime. The ones who like to sit or like to do quiet games were actively involved during the play sessions.
Children are having much more variety at the lunch times. They have more opportunity to play together, create more friends, to be able to do something different, and they're learning from each other in a way.
There aren't certain things dominating things on the playground. There's far more for the children to do, so they get less bored, they don't fall out as often. And I think they are more receptive then to play with children who don't normally play with.
I just think they're all just really happy and I'm really glad that people came. And you know, they'll go home and they'll tell the parents about it and they're like, yeah, the Pego stick came today. But yeah, they just seem a bit happier, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, more satisfied.
The aim of the Child's Play project is to get more children out of doors playing in their own community with a concept known as doorstep play. So the idea is that every child in Wales should have a community in which they can play outdoors.
The playwork itself has been a big eye-opener, especially when the areas we go to, seeing the different kids and the backgrounds they come from and how they interact with others really encourages them to become part of a social community.
It definitely brings a community together because we get children living in one area, they go to different schools, so maybe 2 to 3 different schools, and even though they live in the same area, you don't necessarily know each other, so they meet on the play sessions and build friendships, and we also know that them playing together afterwards when we're not there.
And using the park when they might not have used the park before.
We know through a vast amount of research how important outdoor play is for children's development. It's important physically, they're likely to burn off more calories in an outdoor play environment than they would indoors. We know that if children undertake physical activity as children, they're much more likely to carry that habit on into adulthood. And we know that in Britain we've got a problem with physical health and obesity, so we think play will contribute to that health benefit.
The fact that we're there and there's something constructive or an appeal for them to come in the first place, rather than, it's finished school, go home, sit in front of the television. Even on a nice day, a lot of them will do that now.
When you're watching the telly, you're just sitting there, probably eating a chocolate bar like me. Whereas if you're there, then you would be running around, having fun, playing things that you haven't played before. You can actually do stuff than staying there watching. That's when you can be out playing, having some fun, meeting your friends out in the park.
I have a 4-year-old son who has been going along to the play sessions, and he really enjoyed them and had a lot out of them. Just doing what he enjoyed, painting masks one day, and they did cooking once, and water play, and playing with sticks and mud, which I suppose all boys like doing.
I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old who both have attended the play sessions, which they love very much. I think it was great to have lots of different materials they don't normally have a chance to interact with.
And it's also an opportunity for the parents as well to interact and get to know each other better.
So we have children climbing trees, like you said, building, up trees, building dens and
challenging themselves, making ramps bigger and how they want to.
We also know that it's very important for children's emotional and social health to be playing together with their peer group, and the child poverty measure does make reference to that in the fact that play can help alleviate poverty because it helps develop children's resilience.
Pam ni'n mynd i'r ardaloedd, a ni'n cael plant sy'n dod mas o hunain, fel maen nhw'n dod yn really shei a dim yn siŵr beth sy'n digwydd, felly maen nhw'n mynd i aros rownd chi, ond wedyn pan chi'n dod i nabod nhw, maen nhw'n mwy hapus i chwarae a gofyn cwestiynau a gadael chi, maen nhw'n mynd a mwynhau ar plant eraill a dyn nhw ddim yn dibynnu arno chi. A wedyn maen nhw'n newid o dydd i dydd a chi'n gweld nhw'n pob sesiwn ble mae'r hunan hyder amdano nhw.
Maen nhw'n delio â pethau sy'n digwydd, falle mewn ffordd wahanol, falle maen nhw ddim mor parod i colli natur. Fi credu bod hwnna'n bwysig iawn iddyn nhw gael ar amser i wneud na, bod ni ddim yn stepo mewn a wneud pethau drosto nhw falle.
Yeah, it was really nice to see how all of these people, if they're shy, outgoing, all can just come together and just play like that, just with no pressure on them at all, just doing what they want to do.
For Cymraeg, they've been absolutely amazing. They've helped us with decreasing levels of antisocial behaviour. They've helped with improving community cohesion, and also it's a social activity which is regular for children which otherwise wouldn't have access to play.
Seeing children playing outdoors within any community tells me it's a vibrant community, it's a healthy community, that community is thinking about its future, it's enabling the young of that community to have a place where they can go and interact, have fun, be creative, be imaginative, having that opportunity to express yourself, to explore, and just to be who you want to be.
We need to get away from the idea that to create a play space we need to remove all the hazards. When we observe children playing, we observe them risk assessing constantly for themselves. It is very rare for a child to make a decision that puts themselves in danger.
When they're rolling down in the barrels, got children before them slowing it down and then listening to the children in the barrels to say if they want to come down faster or slower, so they're working together that way.
When they do come in and see that there's no sort of rules or boundaries to what they can do within reason, you know, you just freeze them and they can and get on with it. And like I say, the personalities come out more, they're more open with each other.
Children have different levels of looking for challenge and risk in the environment. If we don't provide that in a healthy way, in a positive way, which an open access play environment does, then they're going to go around looking for that anyway. And that's when they're going to start antisocial behaviour, they're going to start a bit of low-level vandalism, they're going to take risks with graffiti spraying, they're going to try dodging the cars on the road, because that is a part of some people's nature, to need that challenge and risk. And we need to accept that. We need to accept that that is part of human development, and we need to factor that into our play areas and our general environment for children and young people.
I think that they don't feel like they need to get into trouble once the play scheme's over, because they've released that adrenaline, they've had all that fun. The Ceredigion scheme is bringing all this back to the young people, which is in itself just wonderful.
You can just do what you want to do, as opposed to having to do what you're told to.
Our third aim is to build capacity within the communities. We have a commitment that we will sustain 50% of those community play sessions.
Sustainability is one of those difficult areas. The easy part, if there's such a thing, is getting children to your play scheme. The hardest part then is once you're there and once you're established, is making sure that it continues.
About 3 years ago I did the training with Ceredigion. I did it with other professionals from the youth offending team, the police service, communities first, etc. I'm a lot more relaxed, a lot more confident in the way that I work with young people, which benefits them obviously because I'm not on their case all the time.
And I think since doing the course as well, I've given them a bit more leeway in playing naturally rather than being stuck indoors and watching television or something.
Myself and other staff from Cymraeg and other housing associations did the Play Workers training course through Ceredigion. It allowed us to understand the need for children to play better in their communities, and through that Cymraeg are certainly looking at providing the opportunities for children.
We also have another objective where we're landscaping community play areas, existing play areas with natural features. So we're trying to get away from the traditional fixed play equipment, and we're looking at a more natural play environment, which will still need maintenance and replacement, but can be achieved for actually a smaller budget.
We've also been fortunate enough and had some funding to develop natural play areas in some of our estates. We're in the process of doing them at the moment, and that's going to bring added value to the residents living on them estates and their children.
What we're hoping is that by the end of December 2014 we will have 18 inspiring naturally landscaped play areas in Ceredigion that can then promote that idea to all the other play areas in Ceredigion. We want to show what you can do with a very limited budget, that this is not a high-end, expensive alternative.
Rôl fi fel swyddog cymunedol yw I hysbysebu a hefyd edrych mewn a gweld beth yw'r cyfleoedd I blant yn y gymuned, a wedyn edrych I weld shwd I ni'n gallu parhau y cyfleoedd chwarae. Dwi'n mynd mas a siarad gyda partneriaeth plant a phobl ifanc a dwi'n siarad gyda pobl fel y cyngor. Ni'n edrych mlaen wedyn i weld pwy sydd eisiau helpu ni i barhau y cyfleoedd chwarae yma erbyn blwyddyn nesaf.
A wedyn allan ni support nhw gyda training a courses byr i nhw.
Often we find when we've got new residents moving into an estate, they don't always know each other. So the play sessions have allowed them to come out, mix with the play workers, mix with their children playing, and also we're trying to encourage some of them to become volunteers so that the play sessions can become sustainable in their communities.
Our aim is to recruit 60 young people as volunteers in playwork and provide them with appropriate training to enable them to gain skills in the field of playwork. Trying to get young people involved in that process from an early stage is something that hopefully will benefit a particular play scheme within a particular community in the long term. If we can get young people involved, then hopefully what that will enable us to do is also to get adults involved and to get them to take ownership of what we're trying to do there, I feel is kind of really, really important. In the long term, what Ceredigion can offer is the right guidance and support for them to enable them to take on that provision locally. And for us, I suppose that's what sustainability means to a certain degree.
We want to prove the value of our project to the community so that we can gain support for the sustainability beyond the end of 2014. We know that it builds relationships and strengthens community cohesion. And we think this is an aim that is really worth supporting beyond the life of the Big Lottery grant.
I think it's making a difference. They seem a lot happier now than they did when we first went, in pretty much most of the places.
They ask, you know, today, or is it today, is it today? And they get so excited. And that's lovely to see.
We are in the process now of building up our own play pods so that we can continue with the sessions.
Mae'r plant just yn chwarae a joio.
Seeing those improvements almost in the personal development of all the children really that come onto our play space is kind of what makes me love being a play worker.
It's lovely seeing them come out completely covered in mud. Their parents won't agree, but it just looks like they've had a really good playtime.
The play sessions have allowed tenants to live a happier life.
We get to make dens and we get to tip people out the wheelbarrow.
We play with different people we normally play with.
We get to play with your best friends. They give you lots of things and they wouldn't tell you how to use them.
It doesn't have to be just your year that plays.
I would like the books back.
To see the costumes back. Cause
I want the barrels back, the costumes as well.
I used to wear a chicken suit.
I dressed up as a monkey, kind of a monkey.
Making dens, secret dens.
Everybody playing with each other, making it better.
We made a lot of new friends. Yeah.
You're doing it for yourself, seeing the world and having an adventure.